Hey, I'm Selna Kim, America's Face of Dating, or Connor McCandless if you're watching me here on Instagram or Facebook. And what we're going to be talking about today is one of you guys wrote into me on Instagram, and you're basically saying you're kind of desperate. You're kind of in a scarcity mindset, and we're going to help you break those limiting beliefs today. Because when you go into dating and you have this scarcity mindset basically means lack of. It basically means you have a lack of options, you have a lack of confidence, and that lack of is coming out in how you talk, in how you do things, and how you say things. And when you approach any conversation with that scarcity mindset, it's going to come out in everything that you do. I'm reading this book right now. It's called Reality Transurfing, and in the book, it says, the hands do what the eyes fear. And if you fear, basically what that means is that if you fear being alone, if you fear getting rejected, and you have a fear of rejection and girls pulling away and going cold, you are going to actually do things that are going to help influence that to happen more. So that's why it goes, the hands do what the eyes fear. Because you don't want that to happen, and so you're naturally going to do things that are going to actually cause that to happen. That's why people say you attract who you are. You're actually doing it because you're aligning yourself with that mentality and that energy and that frequency to have people pull away, which is actually very fascinating. So let's jump into this coaching chronicle here. He says, hey coach, like when you guys call me coach, man. I really need your help, he says. I feel like I'm running out of options. Well, I mean, that's already just starting off with a scarcity mindset. That's just not even true. You feel like you're running out of options? Dude, there's 3.7 probably. 3.7 now. It used to be 3.5 billion girls last year. And let's just say half of those girls are just not your type, or they're married, or they're taken. Now you're down to 1.7 billion women. You're not running out of options, dude. And let's say that half of those are actually in your age range. Now you're down to about 900 million, I believe, 900 million options around the world. And that's just giving. That's very giving stats right there to the opposition right there. It's probably way better stats, but it's like still, you have 900 million options that are in your type, in your group, that are single. It's like, come on, dude, you're not running out of options, bro. Like, it's the exact opposite of that. He said, dating is just one disappointment after another. I've never been in a relationship or even on a single date in my 27 years of life, and it's starting to get to me. Well, of course, that's why it feels like you're running out of options, is because you're kind of in the scarcity mindset. It feels like no matter what you do, you're not getting anywhere. You're stuck in the mud, basically. You're just stuck. Nothing's happening. That's your process. It doesn't mean that there's any less options. There is a perfect, amazing woman out there for you, dude. You just have to know the skills, the natural attraction skills that I teach to all my clients in my Arrows program. You have to know those skills in order to get the woman that you want in your life. I know it's getting to you. It would get to me too if I was 27 and never been on a date and never been in a relationship. That's a long time, dude. That's literally, let's say you live to 100, 25% of your life has been lived like this, man. Like, that's kind of sad. You got to work on this, man. You at least got to start with my best-selling book right here, Waking the Core of Man. It's right there in the background. At least start with that. Get yourself to about a 7 or an 8. It's like, get yourself to a point where you're at least going on dates consistently with my book and what I talk about in the book. And then when you're about a 7 or an 8, you're probably going to run into the next problem, and that is the ability to sustain it to a relationship and be able to keep it to a relationship. That's where my program comes into play. It's for men that have a great career, they're successful, they take care of themselves, they probably live in a nice place, and you're dating and talking to women, but for some reason, she goes cold every single time. That's the point of my program right there, is to teach you guys the skills to lead it to a relationship. He said, I graduated college last year, and I thought life would start to fall into place after that, but it hasn't. Right now I'm working part-time at a zoo, making just a few $100 a month while I search for a job in my field. It's not ideal, but I'm trying to focus on one thing I've been missing my whole life, finding someone to connect with and call my own. Well, dude, if you're working at a zoo making a couple $100 a month, it's gonna be pretty difficult to date. Like, I don't know if you're living at home with your parents. I'm assuming you are because rent is like on average, at least here in Indianapolis, the average rent is over $1,000 a month, which means you can't even pay rent on a few $100 a month. So, and that's just based on average numbers right there. So I'm assuming you're living at home, you're living with family. Like, dude, you should at least get yourself to a place where you're not struggling with finances. At least, like, you can have the money to date. Because if you have to pay rent, pay bills, pay your car bill, pay your phone bill, pay everything else, and then on top of that, you're gonna have to go on dates, right? That's gonna be at least $100 a month right there, and going out to dinner and going out to eat and taking her out and whining and dining and having some fun. Like, you're gonna have to have some date money, man. I'm not saying that you have to spend $1,000 on dates. That would be a huge fucking problem. But $60 a date, I say, is like max. Like, you want to do $60 a date for the first couple of dates with that girl, which is going to be at least $200 or $300 a month. So it's like that's just eating up all of your zoo money right there, man. So like, dude, you got to get to a place where I would say you're at least putting in the bank $500 to $1,000 a month. That's where like you can actually start considering my program and start considering dating after all expenses. I'm on dating apps, but they're a nightmare. Are dating apps the nightmare, dude, or do you just not know how to do them? I'm lucky if I even get one match a month. That's pretty bad, dude. One match a month is really bad stats. And that's just me being honest with you right there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, dude. Like, the guys in my program get like at least a match a day. Like, once you know how to do the dating app, since it's completely online, it's online dating, it's a hack. Once you know the system and know how to do it, which I teach all the guys in my program, you're going to be getting 1 to 3 matches a day, and at least getting one number a day with just how to text her with what you learn in my program. And even when I do, she'll ghost me after the first message, or worst, after a couple of awkward exchanges. Yeah, that just tells me that, dude, A, you probably have a bad profile because you're not getting any matches. And B, on top of that, if you do get a match, you just said that she'll ghost you because you don't know how to really text her, how to really talk to her. That is a system problem. That is a process problem. Even Einstein, he said that if he was given 60 minutes to solve a problem, he would spend the first 55 minutes figuring out what the problem even is to begin with, and then the last 5 minutes plugging in the right solution. Now you know what the problem is, dude. It's your profile and your exchanges and how you talk. Now you just need to plug in the right solution for that. He said it's always the same. Every time I think it might finally go somewhere, I get rejected or left unread. Or read, however you say it. There's a girl at the zoo I've been interested in for a while, and I've been trying to get her attention. But nothing I'm doing seems to work. I've brought her coffee on her breaks a couple times. That's just weird, man. You shouldn't be bringing her coffee, dude. Like, you shouldn't be, like, putting her on a pedestal. That's putting her on a pedestal right there, man. You're basically just like, oh, like, here, your highness, here's some coffee for you. Like, it's pretty obvious that you're interested, dude. He said left little notes at her workstation. Yeah, dude, she knows you're interested, man. And even stayed late just to coincidentally bump into her, he says, in quotes, when her shift ends. I thought these gestures would show her how much I care. Women don't want to see how much you care, dude. They want to see how much you care after and when you're in a relationship. They want you to have a little bit of more of a caring personality, of course, dude. Because, you're in love and things change when you're in love. But before she's in love with you, man, she doesn't want to see how much you care. She wants to see if you're confident, if you're safe to be around, if you're high status, if you're cool, man, if you know how to flirt, if you know how to talk to her, if you know how to be playful, if you know how to build natural attraction. That's what she wants. He said, but she's been distant. Well, dude, you're acting like you're in a relationship before you're in a relationship. The biggest cause to guys getting friend zoned and girls pulling back and going cold, at the very least, is that they're acting like you start acting like you're in a relationship before you're in a relationship. And you have to keep it at a point until basically she says it's okay. to move past this, but you have to keep it at a point where you're simply building attraction and you're being mysterious, right? Girls will also try to push it to a relationship to test you to see if you naturally go along with her frame. You have to keep it at a point where she's chasing you, pursuing you, and you're building attraction with her. If you act like you're in a relationship after one date or after one conversation, she is bound to go cold because her feelings haven't developed to a point where she feels like she wants a relationship. And the problem with that as well is guys and girls are different in the way that women, they take time to develop their feelings. They take a couple weeks, at least 6 to 8 weeks is what I write about in my book and what I tell my clients. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get her to a point where she wants a relationship. With men are like, dude, I can just go on one date and I'm good. I'm ready to go. Yep, I'm ready to settle down, basically. Men are funny, man. Men fall in love through their eyes, women through their ears. He said, I know I sound desperate. I mean, dude, even you just said that. You know you sound desperate, man, so why are you doing that? And maybe I am, he says. Well, that attitude is not going to get you anywhere. I just want someone to connect with, someone I can introduce to my family and friends, someone to share my life with. I'm tired of being the guy who's always on his own. I mean, dude, that was just how it was for me, man. Like, all my friends were going to Christmas at the zoo, literally, which I think is funny because you're working at the zoo. There was this thing in my city, it's called Christmas at the Zoo. I saw all my friends going there, and they would never invite me because I didn't have a relationship. And they'd be there, and they'd be taking selfies, and they'd be kissing in the snow, drinking hot cocoa. And I felt this feeling in my gut because I wanted that. I wanted to be with a person like that. And it was affecting my confidence because I was like, man, I really want that. I want to take somebody there. I want to have somebody in my life. I want to bring somebody to the family holidays and the family dinners and the family Christmases and and Valentine's Day, man, and have a Valentine. Like, it felt like I just never could get it to that point where I had that person in my life. Like, even one girl, I asked her to be my girlfriend on my birthday one year, and she just totally rejected me. It was the worst birthday ever, it felt like, because I really wanted to be in a relationship with somebody. But that desperation is causing you to do things that's causing girls to pull back. That's why the first thing I teach in my program, especially in the first module, is confidence. Because the energy that you're putting out is very important with women. Women pick up on your energy 3 times harder, I guess, than men do. And it's because women are 3 times more sensory aware, but it's been statistically studied. So the energy you put off, especially in relationships, is critical. He said, do you think your program can help me turn this around? I know it can. I know it can, but the problem is you're only making a couple $100s a month right now, dude. The very least with my program, you would have to, the investment with my program, like if you broke it down to the absolute minimum with our partners, I think it's like $150, $160 a month at the minimum, which is not a lot of money at all. It's $160 a month. Like, if you're saying that you can't invest $160 or $100 to $200 per month to work with me and my team and fix this and get the dating life that you want and deserve, like, if you're saying you can't do that, then you really don't deserve a relationship, because at the end of the day, that amount per month is going to not only go to you and transform your life, but it's going to go to your future children, your future relationships, so you can have a happy, successful, healthy relationship. And if it's not worth it to invest a couple $100s per month into all of that, then really, with all due respect, you just really don't deserve to have that quality relationship. But of course, dude, I know my program can help you turn this around. But you have to be the person that's like, you know what, I'll make it work, and I can invest that much into my dating life to fix this. And especially my future family, my future relationship. He said, I feel like I need to completely change the way I approach women because whatever I'm doing just isn't working. Yeah, it's not working. I'm ready to put in the work. I just need some guidance. Please let me know if this is something your program can help with. Thanks. Again, like, I know my program can help you, but your financial situation, I will say, like, a couple $100s a month, man, like, it probably just isn't the best thing to do right now. The best thing you can do is probably start with my book and at least get yourself to about a 7 or an 8. Confidence-wise, being able to talk to women, you're going on dates, and then when she's going cold and you run into that problem where there's a problem sustaining it to a relationship, that's when you work with me in my program. And especially you're gonna have a job in your field in a month, right? It's like, dude, maybe you can start with us, and then once you have your job, then you start paying off the payments. Like there's options for that. Usually with our partners, they don't make you pay the first payment till next month, which is insane. You can start for $0 literally, and then just start paying next month. It's kind of like a no-brainer in my opinion. But again, like you have to be the person that's willing to put in the work, that's willing to change. And if you're a guy that has a successful career, you've worked hard your life, you live in a nice place, you're talking with women, but they're for some reason going cold and pulling away, then what you would want to do then, especially if you want to work with me and my team, what the next steps are is if you're on Instagram or Facebook, just message me. Just message me the word coach or ready or purple monkey to show that you've watched this video, and we'll go back and forth, and you'll probably hop on a call with my right-hand man so he can walk you through a strategy of what you would do in my program. If you're on YouTube watching this, there's a link in the description below, or the description on this video. It's a Calendly link. The first link literally in the description. You can book in a call with me or my team. We'll hop on a call, walk you through that strategy, and we'll get you going right then and there in the program if we both feel like it's a perfect fit and walk you through everything. So, on that note, I'm Selma Kim, or Connor McCandless, America's face of dating, and I'll see you guys in the next video.